This is my review on Avengers Endgame on in the Imax aspect ratio. I'm reviewing in exclusively on Disney Plus. Is where is the where I watch the IMAX aspect ratio. Um the IMAX aspect ratio basically shows a full picture of what it was meant to look like, and before the studios converted it and changed it into uh what it wasn't intentionally meant to what it wasn't intention to let me rephrase that. The studio changed it, the aspect ratio, like they do with all movies. They change it, and instead of showing what it's shot in, they release into a different aspect ratio than what it's shown. That's why the color can look so crappy, and a lot of times with these amount of movies. And so if you saw it in the original aspect ratio, the color looked great. But if you saw it in the aspect ratio outside of IMAX, the color looked terrible. And I'm going to talk about the movie, but um, you know, I really liked a lot of this movie. A lot of the movies I love, but overall, the more I thought of it, the more my OCD got obsessive, and the more OCD I thought of, the more I thought about this movie, the more that was upsetting my OCD. What's the problems I have with this movie, saying that this movie's and it's the last time we're going to see this team of Avengers, supposedly, and supposedly the end of the era for those Avengers. I'll admit the whole thing just made me kind of sad because of that. It's so, and because they didn't got everything I wanted out of the last hurrah for these team Avengers, I give it a 5 out of 10 is what I'm giving it, because I gotta admit I'm not 100% pleased. And I keep on hoping that they keep on bring these Avengers back, but I gotta accept that that's not going to probably never going to happen. But so, and I wasn't really pleased with them killing off Black Wolf because, instead of it's kind of like that if and I also wasn't pleased with also how they handle Hulk either, and they basically made him into Mark Ruffalo instead of into instead of making him Hulk, Professor Hulk in the comics. In the comics he has the mind of the Hulk but the intelligence of Bruce Banner. Instead of doing that, they decide to give him the mind of Bruce Banner and the intelligence of Bruce Banner, which isn't as interesting a combination, I felt. Especially when it's like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. It's there's also interesting about Mark Ruffalo. I'm sorry, I never found him interesting. And the Avengers the original Avengers, like the foundation members of these Avengers, don't really have that much screen time as much as I would like them to have together. And it was nice to see the Avengers got snapped back together, but I just can't help but think how cool this would have been if it was the original Avengers that got snapped and the other Avengers that didn't got snapped were the outside of the Foundation ones. And the only Foundation Avenger that would have survived the snap would be Tony. and every Foundation member of the Avengers got snapped, including a bunch of other new members. I can't help but think if they went down that road instead of what they did. I can't help but feel like this would have been a lot better of a movie in a better series, of a movie series. But they didn't, so, it just, I don't know, it feels like it's missing something, the whole, a lot of its stuff. Maybe this is like, and, how it's put together doesn't feel like it's like, not everything feels like it's flows through the movie. It just feels like, it feels like the movie feels like a movie. Looks like a movie more like ideas that they had ideas like thought of doing, and then they decided to put all of them together and make that the movie is. Or sometimes in the movie it feels like that, and I found out Black Widow wasn't originally supposed to die. It was supposed to be Hawkeye, and that would have made more sense because he doesn't do anything. And the final battle probably wouldn't would make it would have made more sense for him to actually to die instead of Black Widow, and probably was also a bad money making decision if you let him die, because nobody really still low. He's still not a player. Avengers member. It's like not going to sell tickets. So you decide to kill Black Widow, which is like which is pretty much money making guarantees, except for she would sell tickets and make money off of that character. But you decide to make the character that let the character live. You decide to not make that's not guaranteed to make money off of that character, and that would be Hawkeye. So let him live, but let Black Widow die. It's even a stupid money-making decision when you think about it, I think. And it's starting to catch up with Marvel now, I guess. Because it's like, his mom has a thing where they want to kill or shit on they'll A-member characters, or the either wanted to kill them off or dumb them down. Like there was Hulk, or kill him off like there was Black Widow and Scarlet Witch, supposedly. So that's like what they want to do. Supposedly that's what they want to do for that one. And so it is what it is. And I'm not fully for this is the final product. So I will admit I love a lot of it, but there's some I don't. There's like I just don't know how I feel about this movie. So I guess the reason I give it a 5 out of 10 is because it didn't fully satisfy me like as much as I wanted it to. And the fact that it's upsetting my OCD. Barely years later, after it came out in 2019, it's telling me something I shouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. But I should give it just a 5 out of 10 because of it. So that's what I'm going to do. If my OCD doesn't feel like it deserves a 10 out of 10, if I'm not fully happy with the product and I still want more from it, then I say it just gets a 5 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. Which kind of sucks because I wanted it to be a 10 out of 10. Personally. But yeah, it is what it is. It gets a 5 out of 10 for me, Endgame, so as much as I did enjoy it a lot, I give it a 5 out of 10 because I wasn't fully thrilled with. I just wasn't fully thrilled with the whole. I guess I wasn't fully satisfied and thrilled with the whole thing because I wanted more, But it's not the more as I feel like they could. I would like one more meaning from this story, not from more installments. I want more from this story, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I haven't been sleeping that much because, and I haven't probably haven't been sleeping enough because I've been thinking about this. Uh, of how it didn't fully thrill me like I want to. Probably lost some sleep. I'm not sure. Because of my OCD is like yeah, it's like my OCD is like time that I have repetitive thoughts, and the more thoughts I have, the more if I have a thought, it can repeat itself. If I have even this one thought or more than one. Uh, so that's why I give this a 5 out of 10 Avengers Endgame. Subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Please, and goodbye.